Anyway, Nick, are you busy for the next little bit?
No,
you got
sir.
time
I'm
to hang
here
out
all
with us?
night.
All right, good. You want to hang out with us? Because we got our boy Ahmed Ahmed from Sullivan and Son on. Since you are a TV guy, you might as well be on for Ahmed, right?
Sure. If I have something to say worthwhile, I guess I'll chime in. No problem.
All right. Welcome to Driven Radio. Is it Ahmed or Ahmed?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. I sorry I'm calling in a little bit late. I was on stage, and then we were live tweeting for Sullivan and Son. But yeah, you can
have
call me.
valid excuses.
You can call me Ahmed, but if you want to throw a K in there, I'm okay with that.
you know, the one thing that's got to suck about your name, because it was driving me nuts. Like when I was trying to Google and find stuff about you, only terrorist stuff would come up.
Oh, thanks for mentioning that. No, I do this joke where I say, when you Google my name, my official website pops up, and right under that there's a link for the FBI's Most Wanted. And then when you click onto that, there's a picture of a terrorist in the Middle East that pops up, and he looks like me, basically. So I'm like, I got to find this guy. He's ruining my life. But then it dawned on me, maybe he's in the Middle East Googling me like, hey, bro, look, there's this comedian in America, man. He's using my name. And we have to find this guy. So we're like dueling Arabs trying to find each other.
It's funny. You're actually from Egypt?
Yeah, I was born in Egypt. Thank you very much. We're on our second revolution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Egyptians are so impatient. They're like, this guy was in office for a year and he's not making any progress. Get it out. Let's call 15 million of our friends and march the streets. Yeah, Egyptians are a little crazy like that. But I respect the, power of the people.
I have a cousin of mine is actually married to an Egyptian, and he's going back to visit his family next week. And we're all trying to say to him.
Yeah, my dad just came back today, and my mom's going tomorrow.
Wow.
It's like
your mom's got a bigger set of balls than me. Yeah, and it seems like it doesn't even faze them. They just it's natural.
When the first revolution happened, I told my friends were asking me, hey, how come the Egyptians are walking right through the tear gas? It's not affecting them. And I was asking one of my Egyptian friends, I'm like, well, how does that work? He's like, it's like cigarette smoke. It doesn't really affect us. but what they do is what I found out. There's a chemist, a student chemist in Egypt who found out by doing research, if you pour Coca-Cola over your face, it wards off all the tear gas. So you have a bunch of Egyptians pouring Coca-Cola. I mean, what a great endorsement for Coke, right?
Wow.
I mean, imagine what you're putting in your stomach. Oh, yeah. But they were literally pouring Coca-Cola over their face, and the tear gas just didn't affect them.
See, that's why I don't like Coke. I drink Pepsi.
Well, maybe Pepsi should come up with some anti-tear gas formula.
I heard Pepsi's really good for Agent Orange. That it gets rid of that.
What's that?
Oh, is that the market they're cornering?
Yeah, that's what they're marketing it towards, stopping the effects of Agent Orange. Thanks for making me repeat the joke twice.
Sorry. I'm kind of in a loud place, so my apologies.
All right, so you were on stage earlier, so we got to plug the tour. The Sullivan and Son guys are out on tour. They're coming here into the Philly area on August 8th. They're going to be on South Street at the legendary TLA. Have you been to the Philly area before?
I have. We were there last year. We're doing the Theater of Living Arts, I believe, this time around. Last time we were at the Comedy Club, Helium. But great city, great food, great people. And looking forward to it. Hope whoever's listening comes out and checks us out. It's myself, Steve Byrne, Owen Benjamin, and Roy Wood Jr. And we have a blast together. And if you're watching Sullivan and Son or you're not, make sure to tune in. It's on TBS tonight and every Thursday night. And there's some awesome guest stars. And it's a really great show, really fun show.
Yeah, we love the show. We were saying last week to Roy, it reminds us of a cross of like Cheers mixed with All in the Family, because it just has that raunchiness to it. Like, you guys don't hold back.
Yeah, nobody's really safe on our show. It's a very racially insensitive and politically incorrect show, and we love it for that. we kind of just say what's on people's minds. You know, whatever people are thinking, we kind of say it.
Yeah, because everybody's scared to say anything anymore, and you guys say it.
Yeah, well, the writers write it, we say it, but yeah, we're you know, it's a pretty edgy show. You know, Vince Vaughn's our executive producer too, so he's obviously, you know, knows comedy, and Peter Billingsley and Rob Long, who are also our EPs on the show, have just done a fantastic job of creating a great environment. And you know, our cast is amazing. Christine Ebersol, who's a 2-time Tony Award-winning actress, and Brian Bill Murray, Bill Murray's brother. He wrote Caddyshack. Dan Lauria, the father from Wonder Years. And then Vivian Bang and Jody Long and Valerie Aslan. So it's a really multi-generational and multi, you know, diverse cast. And it's a really cool, you know, situation to be in.
Do you ever cringe at times with some of the stuff you say, like, how are they going to allow this on TV?
I'm sorry, what was that? One more time?
When you guys are doing the show, when you're taping the show, do you, like, some of your lines and some of the things that are being said, do you, like, cringe, like, oh, my God, I can't believe this is really going to be on TV?
You know, we're lucky because it's cable, so we can get away with stuff. So there's a couple things that I cringe at. I'm like, wow, they're really going to let us say that. But mostly I'm like, wow, this is great. They're going to let us say that. So it's pretty cool. I mean, unlike network television, they're giving us more freedom to kind of push the envelope a little bit and you know, cross the line where most people won't be able to cross it.
Well, that's a good thing, because we were talking to Roy about this last week, and I'd like to get your take on it too, because we asked him, do you think that, especially in comedy, people have just become too sensitive? Because to me, I feel like it's like you can't offend anybody anymore, and you know, that was comedy, being able to laugh at yourself, being able to laugh at things, and it just seems like now, you know, you say something wrong and you got 50 groups wanting to protest you, even for the littlest things.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I've realized with comedy is that people do get very sensitive over certain topics that are being discussed. But, you know, I also think that it's a comedian's job to take responsibility and not just do something for the sake of getting shock laughter. Like, I personally, you know, there's topics I just won't touch. I don't talk about rape. I don't talk about cancer. I don't talk about, you know, handicapped people. I think when you make fun of the underdog, it's a little. I think it's a little insensitive. Although some comics can get away with it, and if they can, then great. But I feel like there's enough material out there, you know, to where we don't need to take shots at the underdog. And I always find self-deprecation the funniest type of humor. I mean, when you can kind of just talk about yourself and make that kind of funny. That's always the best route for me, I think.
Well, see,
now, how long have you been doing I'm sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, how long have you been doing comedy for, stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up for about a little over 17 years. I've been an actor for about 25. And I got lucky with the show because a lot of the times as an actor I get cast to play a terrorist or a cab driver. and I quit for a while, and I got into stand-up comedy just so I could have a voice, and that kind of, you know, translated into the sitcom. So I just, you know, on the show I play a character named Ahmed, and I'm a tow truck driver in Pittsburgh, and I speak English, and I'm not out to get anybody, and it's a definite, you know, refreshing change for me as an entertainer, because Hollywood can definitely stereotype you and put you in a category that you're not really supposed to be in. So this is a great blessing. It's been a long time, and I'm in a great, you know, in a great cast with a great group of people and good hands, and just what a blessing to be a part of.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Like I said, we love the show here. Everybody needs to tune in Thursday nights, 10 o'clock on TBS, Sullivan and Son.
Tonight we have Brad Keselowski, who's on. He's the NASCAR champ. And we just get really great guest stars. A lot of people want to come on our show, so it's really exciting to see that kind of attraction to a brand new show that a lot of people haven't really heard of. And we're thankful to all the fans and support and people that follow us on Facebook and Twitter and tune in. So, thanks. If you're listening, thank you.
And you can follow Ahmed on Twitter as well at Ahmed Comedy.
That's correct. Not the terrorist, the comedian.
The comedian.
Right.
It's
the
funny.
Terrorist he might have a Twitter handle.
Yeah. I was trying to find you on Facebook to see if you had a Facebook page to throw out there and plug, and I was coming up with all, Ahmed's, from terrorist countries. I was like, okay, this is not going to work.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out there.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask you, on Sullivan and Sons, you play your character is named Ahmed, and in Iron Man, you played a character named Ahmed, and then in another movie, I know. Is that just laziness on the writer's part that they don't want to give you a new name and they're just going with what you got?
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's such a common name. The name Mohammed is the most popular name in the world, and Ahmed is short for Muhammad. It's like Bob and Robert. So yeah, I think the writers are just like, you know what? Let's just pick a common name that everybody knows. I mean, my name, I'll never be like Zach, or Steven. So yeah, that's funny that you researched that and did that, because a lot of if you read any credits in any movies I do, it always says Ahmed, played by Ahmed Ahmed.
Well, that's the thing I found funny. It was just like, and at first I'm like, is this a typo? Ahmed, and I'm like, oh no, okay. And I was actually a big fan of the Iron Man movie, so I remember you from that. And then when I was doing research on some of the other parts, it just struck me as kind of funny. And I was like, wow, that's either the writers got a reasoning behind it, or they're really, really lazy.
I think probably both. I mean, I did a part on Weeds, and my friend is an executive producer on Weeds, and he sent me a message on Facebook, and he's like, hey, I'm writing, we're doing an episode of Weeds, and there's a character named Ahmed. I just want to offer it to you. Do you want it? So sometimes it works to my advantage.
Well, there you go. That would actually be funny if any Hollywood movie that has a character named Ahmed just brings you in.
Yeah, they just offer me the part.
Yeah, you don't even have to try out.
No, yell a little bit and scream some stuff in Arabic, and I get the part.
How about when you were in Adam Sandler's movie, Don't Mess with the Zohan? You were Waleed.
He was great. I was Waleed, that's right. Yeah, Adam was great. I auditioned for that part 7 times.
Wow.
And then I didn't get the part, and then I came to a table read, which they asked me to come be a part of. And then it was at the table read that Sandler said, hey, good job, I'll see you on set. So I had to jump through some hoops for that part, but that's the name of the game sometimes.
Yeah, his movies are the ones that get in. It seems like he tries to really keep his crew together in all his projects.
Yeah, he takes care of everybody. I haven't worked with him since the last movie, but he definitely works with a lot of his friends. And but he was a big fan of my comedy when I did Access of Evil comedy tour, and he had watched my Comedy Central special, and so he was a fan from the beginning. So that's flattering to know that.
Well, that's one thing. If no one has seen your comedy special, a lot of times they play the back-to-back on Saturday nights. If you get a chance, you definitely got to watch this, because that was one of my first, I would say, exposures to you doing comedy. And
okay.
And I sat there. It was on, I think, at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was up on a Saturday night, and I watched it, and I was cracking up from beginning to end. I thought it was great. It was very inventive. You were going places that other comedians haven't gone, and it was just enjoyable. So if anybody out there listening does get a chance, like I said, every Saturday night Comedy Central plays a lot of their specials. Check it out. You won't be sorry.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I made a comedy documentary in 2009 called Just Like Us, and there's a website, justlikeusthemovie.com, and I took 10 American comedians to Dubai, Lebanon, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. Some of them you might probably know, Maz Brownie and Eric Griffin and Whitney Cummings. And anyway, it's available on on our website. You can download it on iTunes or Amazon. But it's also playing on Stars this month. Stars Network. It's called Just Like Us, and it's really entertaining and educational documentary about comedy in the Middle East. So, if you like that kind of stuff, that's what you might want to tune into.
Oh, now that brings up an interesting point. How is, comedy in the Middle East? Is it do you have to really watch your P's and Q's? Do you have to be careful what you say? Or
it's not like American comedy, but they understand the American humor. And there's some countries that, you got to kind of watch what you say, like Saudi Arabia or Kuwait. Other countries like Beirut, Lebanon, they're like, say whatever you want. So it's kind of different from each country, you go to in the region.
Now, speaking of the Middle East, there was some rumors, I guess, or at least a little bit of words not too long ago that you had wrote an original screenplay that was based on sort of your pilgrimage to Mecca. Is there any truth behind that? Have you heard anything regarding any action that's going to take?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of trying to get some financing for it and do it independently. It's called A Comedy of Arabs, and we're right in the middle of producing that. So that's it's a sort of long process, and hopefully we'll have something up and on its legs in 2014.
Well, you can get on the Kickstarter because then people are desperate for good entertainment because they actually backed that Veronica Mars movie.
Oh, so, here we go again with the Veronica Mars. Let it go, Frank.
They back that garbage. They'll definitely back a good project like yours.
Well, we're still looking, so hopefully they'll pay attention.
One question that I was going to ask you is that you did it was a full tour maybe that you did with Rabbi Bob Alper, and it was like the one Arab, one Jew, one stage. How did that come about where you guys decided to kind of do it together and sort of I hate to use the phrase make a difference because everybody sort of does that, but I can definitely see that that's what you guys were trying to bring the funny but also sort of bring everybody together at the same time.
Yeah, his publicist found me and said, you should team up with an Arab guy. And so he called me up kind of out of the blue and said, do you want to do a show? I tour synagogues. I thought he was joking. But we ended up hooking up, and we've done over 100 shows together all across America and overseas. So great guy to work with, Rabbi Bob Alper, and very funny guy. And if you ever need a funny Jewish comedian to play at your bar mitzvahs or your synagogues, he's the guy. BobAlper.com. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And then, I mean, am I wrong in thinking that you're the first winner of it was the Richard Pryor Award at the Edinburgh International Festival?
I was. And
you were,
I was also the last because he passed away the following year.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but But I mean,
I got to meet him and stuff. Cool.
That happened. How does that? I mean, that's got to mean something special, from not just a comedian but an actor and an ethnic personality as well. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming from Richard Pryor, who's the sort of king of comedy, and for him to kind of pass the torch to me was a huge honor, and I was really grateful for that. And I got to meet him, and he's a really nice, gentle man, and then he passed away soon after that. So. It was an honor and a pleasure.
Now, how do you like working on an actual sitcom? I mean, how much different is it than working on a movie?
It's a lot faster paced, and our episodes are 22 minutes, so we work 5-day work weeks, and we rehearse, and then we do our run throughs, and then we do camera blocking, and then we tape. So the process is different, and there's live audiences too. So it's like doing stand-up, but you're not doing your own material. There's other actors involved, so you're bouncing back and forth. It's really about listening and paying attention and trying to make it more of a team effort as opposed to stand-up comedy where it's more of an individual kind of thing.
Now, how about as a comedian? Did you ever want to try to do Saturday Night Live?
I wasn't very much a big fan of the sketch stuff for myself, although I enjoyed watching it, but I never thought that was my forte. But I enjoy it, and I respect anybody who does it. But I like the freedom and the independence of being a stand-up. You kind of like your own boss.
I never thought of it that way. So, August 8th, the Sullivan and Son crew roll into Philly. They'll be at the Theater of Living Arts on South Street between 3rd and 4th and South. Show starts 8 o'clock, and we're going to have our guest, Ahmed Ahmed, will be there. Our guest from last week, Roy Wood Jr., will be there. And also Owen Benjamin and Steve, is it Burns or Brines?
Steve Byrne, Byrne. And if you want to get specifics on the show, tickets and locations and all that, you can just go to my website. It's ahmedahmed.com. Go to my schedule, and it'll take you right to the Sullivan and Son Comedy Tour website. And we hope whoever's out there in Philly will come check us out. It's a fun show.
Cool.
Well, as we said last week, it is also probably one of the best deals if you want to go out and see. You're not only getting to see one comedian, but you're getting to see four. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the price of the tickets was $22. You can't beat that.
Yeah, and we're all headliners too, so it's like getting four headliners in one show package. So it's a great deal. And
it'll probably cost you more to park than it will for that ticket. So
most likely.
Fly down, take the subway, take the bus, and I guarantee you're gonna. Because if you haven't watched Sullivan and Sons, you're missing out on that. But again, to see these guys live in concert is going to be unbelievable. And for $22, you can't complain. I mean, that's the price of a movie, and this is live.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the plug, and hopefully you guys are going to make it out too, yeah?
Well, if we weren't doing the show, we would be there. We're live every Thursday
I may quit tonight, actually, and just show up, because I know Bay will bring me back the next week, so it's not a big deal for me. He doesn't pay me anyway. So I may actually show up.
Yeah, come on through. Just let me know, and we'll sort out tickets for you. But we'd love to have you guys there, and again, appreciate you having me on, and for all of you people out there listening, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you'll check out Sullivan and Son on TBS. And if you're in one of the cities we're in, come check out our comedy show. It's a live, fun live comedy show.
Cool. Ahmed, thank you so much for calling in. And
hey, pleasure, guys. Thank you again so much.
Thank you. Remember, everybody, tune in every Thursday night on TBS, Sullivan and Son, starring Ahmed Ahmed, Roy Wood Jr., and the rest of the cast that you can also see on tour with the Sullivan and Son Comedy Tour. 4 headliners, 4 sitcom stars, all in one night, $22. TLA, August 8th. Be there and laugh your ass off.
You guys are great. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
You too. Well, there you go. Sullivan and Son.
What was the date of that show again?
August 8th. It's, what's that, 3 weeks from tonight?
Okay, I'd like to make an announcement. On August 8th, we are going to have a best of Totally Driven Radio playing. So tune in, if you want to hear the best. Nick, it's a shame you're in Arizona, or I'd invite you to go.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I think I already established online that you're not invited to my Veronica Mars movie party.